Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm just absolutely delighted that you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. And we have a bunch of callers this evening, which will make this really fun. And before we get started with the callers, just a quick update. I hope you all had a wonderful Father's Day. We did. It was also Tim and my wedding anniversary, so we whooped it up here. Grandbabies came over. That was fun. They brought him a cookie cake and, of course, ice cream and lots of sprinkles. Mimi has lots of sprinkles in her pantry. And so whenever they're here, I always have the broom and dustpan out after they leave because there's sprinkles all over my kitchen, but it's hilarious. And I have so many different colors that it's fun to see what kaleidoscope of colors they put on their ice cream. So that was fun. I hope your weekend was fun as well. We're going to have the 4th of July coming up here before long, another week or so. Before we get started with our callers, just wanted to remind everybody that I'm giving away a free 1-hour session that's valued at $155 and each month on the first Thursday of the month. And to register for the drawing that I do every month, you have to do these 3 easy things. Number 1, just follow me on Instagram at AskJulieRyan. Number 2, write a review about why you like the podcast on iTunes at Ask Julie Ryan. And number 3, subscribe to my blog at AskJulieRyan.com. And then I'll pick a winner. We've had 2 already, so July will be our 3rd month doing that, and it's fun to see who wins. So consider entering the drawing, and we'll have a whole hour to chat about whatever you want to chat about. We can do medical scans, pet scans, past life stuff, talk to deceased loved ones, do spirit guide stuff. I can tell how close to death somebody is if they're dying. As I tell people, I'm a buffet of psychicness, and I'm a businesswoman who learned how to do woo-woo. So there you have it in a nutshell. And with that, let's go ahead and go to the phones, and I believe our first caller is Carol. Hi, Miss Carol.
Hi there.
How are you?
Well, that
good, huh?
It's debatable.
Oh, no. Please tell everybody where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from the Bay Area in California.
Okay. All right. Well, what's going on?
Okay. I've been having severe pain from the sciatica, and it goes from my back all the way down on the right side, all the way down my right leg, all the way to the foot. And it keeps me up nights and days. And
Okay. All right. So let me get you on my radar, and we'll see what's going on with your right sciatica. What I'm going to do, for those of you who are first time joining us, I raised my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits in a body having a human experience, and when we're in a body, we vibrate more slowly. So when I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, I can connect with Carol's spirit or whoever's spirit anywhere in the world, and it lets me I'm just going to let me get Carol on my radar, which means I'm going to have a view of her, holographic image of her in my mind's eye, and the energy's going to we're going to check out what's going on with her sciatica pain. So here we go, Carol. Laser beams coming from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama, coming out to you in the San Francisco Bay Area. Got you. Okay. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. You look like a hologram from, like, I'm taking you back to the Star Trek days. Remember Beam Me Up, Scotty? So you look like a hologram. You're being turned around. I'm looking at the back. Okay, so it's pinched in your hip, like
Yes.
where it goes around and then down your rear end and down the back of your right leg. Have you been to see a chiropractor
Yes.
lately since it started hurting?
Yes.
Okay, you need to go back because it's pinched. What I'm watching happen is I'm watching you get adjusted on a chiropractic table. This is a healing, an energetic healing. You're getting adjusted, and I'm watching your hip joint get moved around to get that nerve out of there. So I think it may take more than one adjustment, but I think you're going to be able to get some relief by doing that, probably in short order.
I don't need surgery?
I don't think you need surgery at all. I think you need a chiropractic adjustment.
Okay. Probably need more than one because this has been going on for months and months.
Well, when's the last time you saw a chiropractor?
A couple of months ago.
Yeah, you need to go. Do you have
I
one
need
that you
another
like?
adjustment then.
Yeah, maybe
and
a
there's
couple.
no cancer in there?
No.
Okay.
You're just hung up. You're a twisted sister. You're a twisted sister.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Easy to fix. Go find a chiropractor that's good, and they'll take care of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's very simple.
Thanks for calling, Carol. Have a good week.
Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you ever so much.
You are most welcome. Okay, let's see who's next. Christine, I believe, is next. Hi, Christine.
Hi, it's Christine.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you? We actually had a private session last week.
Yes,
I'm in
we
Westchester,
did.
New York. Yes.
Yes, we did. How are you?
I'm good.
Terrific.
Yeah, thank you. It was pretty amazing. I have to say, I felt tired the next day, but then after that, I've been great. Is that common?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, Christine. It just and everybody's got different stuff going on, and the healings I see are just all over the board. It's fascinating for me. Yeah. So I'm glad you're feeling good, and I'm glad that you got your energy back. How may I help you this evening?
I am calling about my dad. I'm going to see him and my sister, and he's had actually bad sciatica and things like that. He's out in Sacramento, California.
I remember you telling me that, yeah.
Yes. So I'm going there on Sunday, and I'm going to be there for 10 days, and I do a lot of acupuncture and body work on him and some laser,
Wonderful.
And it usually really helps. But I was just wondering, is there anything else I can do for him?
Let me see if I can get him on my radar, Christine. Okay. I'm going to connect to you, so my laser beam's going to ping pong across the country. And let me see if he'll let me scan him. I'm going to ask his permission telepathically. If he says yes, I will. If he says no, I won't. Because as you know, I turn my abilities on and off at will. And if I ask somebody's permission and they turn me down, it's an ethical thing. I'm not going to scan them. So, and I know you do the same thing if you were in my shoes. So here we go. Laser beam's coming to you. Got you. Pinging. Southwest to Sacramento. Okay, got your dad. Tell me his first name.
George.
George. All right. George, I'm talking with your daughter, Christine. She wants me to scan you. Yeah, he's telling me okay. Cool.
Yeah, he's pretty open. Yeah.
All right. Great.
He gets a lot of pain, so he's been open to everything.
Little kids are usually the ones that give me the hardest time with scanning them. It's hilarious. Oh. They're just a riot. They'll just say, no, before I even get the question out. So I'll have to have their moms talk to them and just say, my friend Julie wants to scan you. Is that okay? And I go, yeah, okay. And then the next time they'll give me a yes immediately. They don't even know what that means.
Oh, that's so funny.
So I know. It's a riot. Okay. Shooting energy up for him. All right. Okay. His sciatica on the right side, he's had that for a long time, hasn't he? That nerve has some damage in it. Whereas Carol's, yours doesn't.
Literally 50 years.
Yeah. His is starting to disintegrate. So what I'm watching happen, Christine, is I'm watching a healing happen on his sciatica, that stem cell energy, which I think we talked about that when we did our private session, but it looks like clear fog with sparkles in it. Yeah. And imagine, I laugh, but this is what reminds me of Tinkerbell blowing a handful of pixie dust into a clear cloud, and it has a little bit of a gelatinous substance to it. So I'm watching that get put into his sciatica nerve to regenerate the tissue. In the meantime, while that's happening, I'm going to see if I can see what the pressure is. All right, his isn't being pinched by his hip like Carol's is, but his is hung up on his hip, like almost on the bottom of the sacral area on their right side. So what I'm watching happen is I'm watching that get untangled, if you will.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of the pain comes from, because he's had this going on for a long time. I can see that it's been in trouble for a while. But the good news is it will restore. I saw that with my own dad. He had shoulder surgery that didn't work, and his nerves going down his arm didn't work, and they just look black. Your dad's isn't completely black, but it's black in spots, which tells me
Yes.
it's just not working properly, and it's been like that for a long time. When my dad had the shoulder surgery redone, that nerve completely came back online. So I think that can happen with your dad too. And again, chiropractic, if you can get him to go to a chiropractor, that would be really helpful.
Yes, we do. Okay. Fabulous.
All right. But I think he'll heal from this, Christine.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. Have a safe trip. Do something for me though. When you're on the plane,
Yes.
when you get on the plane before you take off, close your eyes and imagine an iridescent bubble going around the plane.
Okay.
And it's going to be a protective bubble when you fly. Not that you need to worry about it. There's going to be any problems. There's not. But what the heck? I mean, little extra insurance never hurt. Because that will protect the plane and protect all the passengers and you guys while you're flying. And I do that every time I fly, and I do that if a loved one is flying. I'll bubble the plane. And I have 2 friends that have told me when I've done that to their plane, they were flying across the country and they saw the plane's shadow on the ground and they could see the shadow of the bubble around the plane.
Ooh.
2 totally separate people that don't know each other, that live in different states. So
oh my God.
I've always used my imagination to do it. So that was great validation, and I think we can all do it. So you can bubble a car, you can bubble a plane, you can bubble a person, whatever. So do that before your plane takes off. And see if you can see the shadow. That would be cool.
I will absolutely do that. Can I ask you just one quick question?
Sure.
It's just about my husband. He's actually here. He's just embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has testicular pain. One of his left testicles is like kind of swollen and a little bit angry, and he doesn't know why. His name is Ben. Ben. He's just a little.
Yeah, of all the things to talk about on the radio, right?
He's right here.
Hi, Ben. I know you're being a manly man. I appreciate that. All right. So, right side, is that what you told me, Christine?
Left.
Okay, left.
His
side.
left. Yeah.
All right, because it went to his right side, the energy, and I'm looking at him from behind, so that's why I was checking on it. So, right side looks inflamed, left side looks inflamed. Getting that down. Left side looks like he's got an infection going on. I can see some pus in there.
Yeah.
So, I would think he probably wants to go see the doctor on that. Is he going to be traveling with you?
No, he's staying back.
Okay.
So
he
said it's starting to feel better, but if it doesn't, he's going to go.
Tell him to, if he can't hear me, Ben, if you can hear me, get him on the Ester C, 1,000 milligrams plus 50 milligrams of zinc 3 times a day, Christine.
Okay.
It's an amazing immune booster. I'm not getting that he needs antibiotics, but I think he's got a little infection. So I've got antibiotic energy on it right now, which will just blast the crap out of the bacteria that's in there. It's a bacterial infection. And I would pound the vitamin C and zinc until he feels completely better for days.
Great. And that's per day, 1,000.
Per day, 1,000 of Ester C, 50 of zinc, 3 times a day.
3 times a day. Great. That's what I wanted to confirm.
3 times a day. And get the Ester C, Christine, because it's buffered so it won't cause stomach discomfort.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. You are so welcome. Have fun with your daddy.
I will. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Let's see who's next. David. Hi, David.
Well, hello, Julie. How are you?
Hello. I'm well, sir. How are you?
I feel honored to get an opportunity to talk to you. I'm doing well, but I do need some medical stand and some advice.
Okay. Please tell us where you're calling us from.
Absolutely. Again, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, a little town called Danville.
Oh, yeah. I know Danville.
All
East
right.
Bay. Yeah. Terrific.
Yeah,
okay.
East Bay. Absolutely.
So what's going on?
Well, Julie, I was diagnosed by the method of ultrasound with a stretched bladder and BPH prostate problem, which was also enlarged. And I had to have a catheter inserted to drain out the urine that had been collected in the bladder. Unfortunately, the bladder was so stretched, it's not working, and it is not returning to its normal functioning.
Oh, jeez.
This has gone on now. I've had a catheter in for about 8 weeks.
Oh, jeez.
And my question is this. It's coming out this Monday. Will I be able to, at some time in the future, urinate on my own?
I get a yes on that, David. They may want you to just for backup, tell them you want some straight caths if they take out the cath that's in there. Yeah, I imagine you're on a leg bag.
Yeah, and what was it I'm asking for? I'm sorry, Julie.
You want a straight cath. Straight catheter? Straight catheter.
Word straight, as in not bent, but straight.
Correct. And what you do is you insert it, and it's going to drain the urine, and then you throw the catheter away. You just use it one time.
Okay, straight catheter.
Because if you can't eliminate, you're going to be in a tremendous amount of pain, as you probably can imagine. But so try that. What I'm going to do, David, is let me get you on my radar, and let me see what we can do to get your bladder back.
Okay.
So what are they saying the alternatives are? So my laser beam's heading to you in the Bay Area.
Yes, unfortunately, they're saying the typical TURP surgery, they'll only give me a 50-50 chance that might alleviate the problem. There are no other alternatives at this point. I've done some research as to other options, but they're not on the normal American Medical Association pathway.
Yeah, that's all right. They're pretty slow to adopt things as standard procedure. Actually, it takes 17 or 18 years on average, so I wouldn't let that worry me. If you have a urologist that's done a bunch of procedures and they think it's going to work, I'm getting that a TURP will work for you. It will be successful if you have that done. So what I'm watching happen is I'm watching your bladder get almost like it's being taken in, almost like, when you take in a pair of pants, if you've lost some weight, you're taking in the tailors taking in the waist and the legs and stuff. And that's what I'm watching happen with your bladder. And it's happening on the top, and it's just making your bladder smaller. It's almost like a bladder lift. It's like a facelift for your bladder almost.
Well, I like the sounds of that.
Taking it back up, yeah. So here's a way for you to help come up with a decision with whatever the variables are that they offer, that your doctors offer. What you want to do is you want to ask in your mind's eye, in your head, is it in my best interest to, and then finish the sentence. And that's going to give you divine guidance from God, the universe, angels, your deceased loved ones, your spirit guides, the whole group. So the answer is going to come into your head telepathically, David, within a second. You're not going to necessarily, most people think they'll hear it with their ears. You don't. Spirits communicate telepathically. So if you think about the answer for more than a couple of seconds, that's going to be your brain talking to you. And spirits are really literal. So you want to be as concise and as specific in your questioning as you can be. So I would, if I was in your shoes, or if you were my husband, I would see what your options are. I would research the daylights out of them, so you've got it, intellectually you've got an idea. And then I would ask that question and pay attention to what comes in, number one, but number two, pay attention to how it feels in your gut. If your doctor wants you to have a TURP and you think about having a TURP, how does it feel?
Okay.
And doctors are going to hedge their bets because, some of that's malpractice too. They're going to say, it's like 50% effective, or it's a certain percentage effective. And I'm getting that you'll be glad you've had it done if you are in need of it. Okay. I think you'll do just fine with it.
I thank you very much for that information.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And that's a very standard procedure, and it's done thousands of times a day all across the country.
You mean the TURP?
The TURP is. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just done all the time. So do your research, but then pay attention to what you get when you ask, is it in my best interest, and pay attention to how it feels when you think about having it done. Okay?
I just started the medication Flomax, and when you gave me the yes answer saying that I will be able to urinate on my own, I'm assuming that the Flomax will either help like a prime a pump or will help kickstart the process. When you see that, do you have an indication as to how long it will take before I will be able to urinate on my own?
Right now I'm getting 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks from today is what I'm getting. So I don't know if they have you on the schedule yet or if they can get you scheduled quickly. My guess is with the holiday, they're going to probably get you scheduled quickly if that's what they decide to do and you agree. So I don't think it's going to be a big, long, drawn-out process. Now, that's what I'm getting at this moment in time. There are a bazillion variables in the future that we don't know, and our human brains can't comprehend all the different outcomes based on all the variables. So at this moment in time, I'm getting 2 weeks, and I'm getting that you're going to be pleased if you have it done.
I thank you very much.
You are most welcome. Good luck. Let us know how it goes. So call back in. Let us know how you're doing.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, who we have next? We got Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hi. How are you?
How are you? I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Terrific. Where are you calling us from?
Chicago.
Terrific. What's going on up there?
Rain.
Okay. Okay, what is it? June showers bring July flowers or something like that?
Well, I hope it brings something besides mud.
There you go. Oh, how may I help you this evening?
All right. Well, I have a question. I don't know if you can help me with it, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
So I have never known who my real father was, and I've always been told a name, but not any more information, not even what he looks like. So recently I did one of the DNA tests, and the results I got back, all of the ones that kind of that didn't match with like my paternal relatives that I knew, like none of them had the name that I was told, just a lot of another name that they all kind of had in common. So I'm just wondering if I'm ever going to know who my real father is, or if it's who I thought it was or someone else.
Well, okay, so let's just ask some questions here. So will Kim ever know who her birth father was? I get a yes. What are your other questions? Do you want to ask a name, and I can tell you if I get a yes or a no?
Okay, I really don't know any.
Okay. I thought you had been given a name.
Well, I was given an original name. The original name I was given was Frank.
Okay. I get a no on that. I get a no on Frank, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't called Frank. He might have been, Francis or Gerald Francis or something like that.
Right. Well, the last names that are coming up don't resemble the last name I was given at all, like not even anywhere near on any of the family trees. So I'm just thinking that the person that I was told, whether my mom knew who it was or not. That's just not that person. But I don't know who it is anyway. So
your mom's not even sure who your dad is? Your birth dad?
She always said this name, so I'm just saying she may not. Maybe she just thought it was this person, or I don't know.
Okay. So is the man that Kim's mom thinks is Kim's birth father really her birth father? Okay, I get a yes on that. So again, the Frank part may be like a nickname. It may be, spirits are really literal. So see if you can get some more information on him and see if you can track him down and figure out where he is. I know people do this on with social media, and I know a lot of people have had great success with that. I would Google it too, and Google how to track down your birth parent, and I'll bet you'll learn a lot of secret agent tactics that you could use.
Do you know if I'll ever meet him in person?
I get that he's still alive. I don't know that he knows that. Does your mom say that he knew that you were born?
I never really had in-depth conversations with her, but I get the impression that he did.
Okay, because I'm not so sure about that. So did Kim's birth father know her mom was pregnant with her? Yes. Okay, I get a yes on that. I don't know. I don't believe he's ever seen you, though. So, yeah, I would pursue it. Pursue it. And you know what? Just by you doing that, Kim, that's going to bring in the energy of you finding your birth dad, whether it's him or whether it's somebody else, because magical things happen when we take those steps and have a goal, and we just, start moving in that direction. It's kind of like, I call it following the yellow brick road. You take a step, and then another yellow brick lights up, and you take that step, and then another yellow brick lights up. So I believe that you have the ability to find him. And I can help you with that. If when you get to a place maybe that's a dead end, or you want some validation on a name, just call in, or, we can do that.
Okay.
I've helped several people in that vein find their birth parents.
Yeah, I've always searched for that name, and I found some information, but I've never, I can only get so far, and then again, I'm like, I don't know if this person knows who. I just feel like they're probably not open to meeting.
You don't know that. That's your fear. That's your fear, girl. So just push through that. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Not one thing. There's nothing to lose in this equation. So if you want to know, go for it. And I would check in to see if maybe there's another formal name, and that might be why you're not finding as much information on him as you'd like. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just getting really thrown by all of the names that came up on the paternal side of my ancestry, because they're all pretty much the same name, and none of them match that name. So that's why I was kind of confused by that. And then I did reach out to some people, and they didn't contact me back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they probably weren't your birth father, because if you're supposed to meet him, you're going to meet him.
Right. Well, I reached out to the DNA matches that came up, if people that are close matches. And I didn't say I was looking for my birth father. I just said we matched up, and I was just seeing how we're related and if they're open to talk, but none of the people on that side contacted me back.
Okay. So that's just one methodology. There's lots of them. So again, Google finding my birth father. There'll be a bunch of information online. See what resonates with you. Take a step. Just keep taking another step. It's going to lead to something else. It's going to lead to something else. You're going to get inspiration. You're going to get a thought about what if I try this? Try that. What if I try this? Try that too. Just keep following your inspiration, and it's going to, just remember, follow the yellow brick road. And when the bricks light up, you're going to get a thought. You're going to get inspiration to do something, and then do it. You don't have anything to lose. That's the way I'm looking at it. So good luck. Let us know what happens.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, well,
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, we do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-770-4160, and the access code is 533677# or hashtag. You can find this information a bunch of different places. Go to my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. It's all there. By the way, there's a button you can push right next to the information, and you can submit a question online if you want. If you can't join us, this time doesn't work with your schedule. A lot of moms tell me this is bedtime. They're getting their little kids ready for bed, so I understand. Been there, done that. All right, you can also find it anywhere you download podcasts. We're on, I think, 40 different networks, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeart, bunch of them, and it's in the show notes. We're also on YouTube, and you can find it in the show notes there. Please sign up for my blog. It's on the website. Just put in your first name and your email address, and I send a question out every week that somebody has submitted online, and it includes my answer. And it also has all this call-in information in it. And then while you're on my site, schedule a private appointment, and that is a blast. It's so informative. It's so fun. We have a ball when we do it. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. You can talk to your dead grandma. We scan you medically. We can talk to your spirit guides. I can scan your dog, whatever. And it's just really usually such a wonderful hour. For me, really, I love it. It's so much fun to get you for a whole hour all to myself. And so consider doing that as well. So speaking of questions that have been submitted online, this one comes from Jennifer, and Jennifer lives in Roscoe, Illinois, and she asked, "Hi, Julie. I just started listening to your podcast about a month ago. I love your advice and respect what you do. Thank you so much. For the past 6 years, I've had fatigue and different neurological issues. Yesterday, my husband rushed me to the emergency room where I began stumbling, stuttering, was in and out of consciousness, and became blind for about 30 seconds. I really thought I was having a stroke. My CT scan and EKG didn't show any problems. No one could explain it. My neurologist blamed it on a dosage of medication that I've been taking for 3 months with no side effects. I was just wondering if you had any clue about what might be wrong or how I could possibly feel better. I'm a little concerned because I'm losing small amounts of time once in a while. At the grocery store this morning, the clerk scanned all of the big items in my cart, and even though I was standing right in front of the cart, I never saw him do it. When I told him to scan the stuff in my cart, he said he already had and just looked at me like I had 3 heads. I think we've probably all been there, Jennifer. I appreciate your taking the time to read my question. I would really love to hear back from you. Thank you and hugs, Jennifer. And here's my response. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for your kind comments. The emergency room episode you described must have been so scary for you and your family. In order to get some information for you, I energetically connected with you in Illinois and saw a massive amount of inflammation in your head. Your body looks extremely fatigued, as if your power source wasn't connected below your neck. Once I got the inflammation in your head calmed down, I could see in my mind's eye what looked like the brain of someone who'd taken lots of drugs. All right, let me stop here for a second. Inflammation looks like red fog to me, and it goes over body parts when I see inflammation. Sometimes I'll see a whole body inflamed. That's usually not the case. Normally I'll see inflammation over a knee or a shoulder, or in this case, Jennifer's head. Like regular fog that you try and drive through, you can't see through it. You can't see on the other side. So what I do is I apply anti-inflammatory energy, which looks like royal blue fog, onto the red fog, the inflammation, and it goes away, and then it's not opaque anymore, and I can see what's going on. So in Jennifer's case, her brain looked like somebody that had been taking drugs for a long time, and lots of drugs. I went on to say, in your case, I believe the drugs were prescriptions. Many areas of your brain looked unhealthy, and I could detect an oily film throughout your head. The oily energy indicates pharmaceuticals are being taken by the person I'm scanning. So imagine I've got this kind of grayish, brownish fog in Jennifer's head, and it has a perimeter of an oily substance. Kind of like if you rub baby oil around the perimeter and there was a ring of baby oil around this fog, that indicates that there's some kind of drugs going on. All right. Next, I watched stem cell energy be applied and new brain tissue generated. I believe this will help you heal. Again, stem cell energy to me, and I just started seeing stem cell energy about a year ago. The more I do this, the more advanced stuff comes in for me. And this stem cell energy looks like a sparkly cloud, like I was telling Christine, our caller from New York, and it has kind of a gelatinous substance to it, and it goes into whatever's needed. It will form new bone, new tissue, new brain matter, whatever. I said, please go to amenclinics.com, A-M-E-N, clinics, plural.com, and consider consulting with one of their doctors. I believe a SPECT, S-P-E-C-T scan will give you a lot of information about what's happening with your brain and the cause of your symptoms. A SPECT scan that's done is going to show areas of the brain that light up, and it's going to show the areas of the brain that don't light up. And so it's different from a CT scan, which is physiological, it's skeletal. And so the SPECT scans are really going to show what areas of your brain are working and which ones aren't. Educate yourself on the side effects and efficacy of the medications you're taking so you can have an informed conversation with your doctor. A good place to start is by Googling the name of a drug with NNT after it. NNT stands for the number needed to treat and will tell you how many people need to take a medication in order for it to help one person. It'll also discuss potential side effects of the meds you're researching. Pharmaceutical companies are required by our Food and Drug Administration, and I put in parentheses FDA, to provide this type of data in order to gain approval to sell a medication. Every country has an equivalent agency regulating pharmaceuticals and medical devices. I'm an inventor of medical devices. I owned manufacturing companies that manufactured these surgical devices. I dealt with the FDA for 30 years. I know how stringent it is to get something approved by the FDA. All that information is public, so look it up, especially with medications. And then I closed with bottom line, I believe the medications you're taking are the cause of your symptoms. Hope this helps. And you hear about all the side effects of drugs, and I think, Jennifer, that's what's going on with you, girl. I think you've just been on these medications, and they're causing problems for you. So do your research and let us know how you're doing. Alrighty, let's go back to the phones and see who else we have. I think our next caller is Margie. Hi, Margie.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
Good.
Hi, Margie.
I'm from Utah. I had a session with you about 3 weeks ago. Loved it.
Yes,
very informative.
Did.
And
Terrific.
I read your book recently. Absolutely loved it. So great.
Thank you. Would you leave an Amazon review for me on the book, please?
I did, hon. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you sweet thing. I haven't checked it in a while, so thank you so much.
I did, yeah. I did. Okay. I was able to.
It helps other people find the information, so thank you for doing that.
Exactly. Yeah, and I loved one on Audible books, too.
Terrific.
Yeah, so I loved it a couple of places, but it was a great, great book.
Thank you.
What I'm calling you about today is my dear friend from church, Sally, her granddaughter, Christina, committed suicide on Father's Day.
Oh, no.
And, the grandparents are devastated. We're all devastated. And just kind of, we kind of maybe know why, not really sure, but just wondering if Christina has any type of message that I could give her grandparents.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to connect to you, Margie, and then I'm going to connect from you to Sally and Sally to Christina. So we're going to do like the old telephone game. One thing, too, before I do that, consider giving Sally a copy of my book because
yes, I'm going to.
Yeah, people find it so comforting. For those of you that don't know about my book, it's called Angelic Attendants, and it's what really happens as we transition from this life into the next. And Margie, wouldn't you agree? It's a comforting read, and it's also heartwarming with the stories in it.
Absolutely. I mean, I lost my husband 6 years ago. I was crying. I bet it's so comforting. And you cry with comfort. You cry. I mean, I wish your book is amazing. I just can't say enough positive about it. But it is a wonderful gift for anyone. There's lost someone a long time ago, a recent loss. mean, it's very, very, and the story.
Somebody who has a loved one who's dying, and if you don't have access to my book, go to my site, AskJulieRyan.com, and there's a graphic up there called the 12 Phases of Transition, and it talks about how angels and our deceased loved ones are positioned around us as we approach death. And families find that so comforting when they just look at the graphic. I have families that just have that graphic and they pass it around to different family members, and it just it provides such a sense of peace for people. Okay, so Margie, here I go. Laser beams heading out to you. Got you. Going to Sally. Okay, Christine is standing. It's Christina, right? Christina is standing right to Sally's right. And I said, what happened? She said, I was done. She said, it was the quickest, easiest way for me to go back into spirit, into non-physical. I'm great. Everything's fabulous. I'm around my loved ones all the time in spirit form. She's saying, teach them how to talk to me. Margie, you know this. You may have heard me talk about it earlier. But, ask a question in your head to whoever's deceased. The first thing, I was talking with David about this, about getting divine guidance for himself for medical condition, but you can do this with deceased loved ones. Do this with your husband. I think we talked about this when we did our private consult. You ask a question or make a statement in your head. The first thing that pops into your head within a second is them answering you. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And, it's practice. The more you practice it, the easier it's going to be, and you can do it with anybody. You can do it even with people that you don't know who are deceased. Like if you want to have a conversation with President, Abraham Lincoln or something, you could talk to him. Everybody's available. Hey, how did you come up with that Gettysburg Address? No, I'm kidding. So, no, I think she is at peace. She's in nirvana. She's in heaven. She's around her loved ones. She's happy as a clam. She's thrilled. She was done. She did what she wanted to do in this lifetime. It was her soul's path. She was ready to return to non-physical.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So good luck to your friend Sally and to the family.
Thank you. One other quick thing. My mom is having knee surgery on July 2nd. She's having a knee replacement. She's going to be able to, they're going to use one of your famous inventions on her knee.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, my auto transfusion device, which takes the patient's blood that their bones bleed after surgery, and we slap a filter on it and put the blood back into them. It's been used throughout the world for 30 years. Wonderful. And that quality blood's really good, Margie, versus the blood bank blood that's been sitting on a shelf for 30 days in a refrigerator. Because the blood with my device, just they bleed it, goes right back in, and it's got all the goodies in it, like plasma and white blood cells and all that jazz, not just red cells. So will it be a success? Will Margie's mom's orthopedic surgery be a success? When's she having it done?
July 2nd.
Yeah, I got a yes before I even asked you when. Yeah, I think she'll do great. Do the vitamin C and zinc regimen that you heard me talk about earlier. And, I would get her on that because it's an amazing immune booster. And have her do that in the hospital, and also take her food in the hospital. That's really good quality food, and she'll heal even faster. Okay?
Okay.
All righty, girl. Good luck.
Thanks,
Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks,
bye-bye. Okay, let's see who else we got. We got Mickey. Hi, Mickey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well.
Where are you?
I'm from New York. I'm in New York.
Oh, New York. Okay, terrific. Got a question for me?
Yeah, it's pretty much just a general question about myself. I'm just kind of curious if there's anything to be aware of with my health. I am always struggling every time I go to the doctor every year because I'm feeling this particular way, and it's just there's never really that many answers. I have answers for a couple of things, but it's still this just general it always feels off in my body in some way. So I don't know if there's anything that My digestion feels off.
Okay.
I have one autoimmune disorder that I know of that's been diagnosed. My moods are definitely. It's a bladder disorder. It's interstitial cystitis.
Yeah. And all right. Yeah. All right, I got you on my radar. I'm looking at you. All right, you got yeast, child. You're full of Candida yeast. Full. So Google Candida yeast overgrowth. That's what the bladder pain is from. Been there. It's not. You don't have that. It's just yeast. So go Google Candida yeast overgrowth. Download the Bulletproof diet, the map, and it's going to give you what to eat and what not to eat. If a really good way to do it is if God made it, eat it. If it was made in a factory, don't. If man made it in a factory, don't eat it. All right? Yeast loves sugar. Do you drink wine and beer and alcohol?
No, but I have a sweet tooth, so that's probably a factor. Well, but I don't do any of that.
Because the yeast makes you crave it. Because that's its main food. So people with yeast that drink wine, I go, well, you're drinking moldy grapes that they add yeast to. So, God, it just adds fuel to the fire. The other thing that I want you to do is there's a company called Viome, V as in Victor, IOME.com. Go to Viome.com, order one of those gut biome test kits. You send them a stool sample. You wipe a little bit of poop on a card. That sounds disgusting, but it's easy to do. I mean, it's like, wah! And you send it to them, and they're gonna tell you what exactly the chemical, what the critter makeup of your gut is, and they're going to tell you eat these foods to restore a healthy gut biome. Stay away from these foods. It's easy peasy. It's easy to heal. Number one. Number two, it doesn't cause any permanent damage. So consider doing a private consult, and we'll get all that removed, and we'll get you fixed up. All right?
Okay, girl.
Okay, yeah, thanks for calling in.
Make sure that it wasn't anything crazy. Thank you.
Nah, easy. Okay.
Thank you.
So take care. Bye-bye. All right, our next caller is Monica. Hi, Monica.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for taking my call, and I want to thank you on behalf of everybody for being so generous with your time and helping so many people tonight and every Thursday night.
You sweet
Dave. I could just,
thank you for that.
No, seriously, I could even just, was it Dave, that gentleman earlier, you could just hear that, he was just so in need of help, real help that he could rest and trust in. And I know what it's like to be in that position, and it's just so, that's just so valuable.
Oh, so. Good. Where are you calling us from?
I'm in Ontario.
Okay. Ontario, Canada or California?
Canada, yes. Canada.
Canada. All right. You got a quick question for me?
I do, and I kind of, I had a question, and then, I sort of had doubt as to how I should start it, but I'm just going to begin. Last week, I noticed, I do have breast implants, and last week, and I've never had an issue with it, 12 years, I never even had anything. It's been a really, a natural, everything is great, but last week, I noticed a slight hardening and swelling on the right side.
On the outside of the right side, right?
No, the right side inside. It feels harder, and it feels denser. So
yeah, you got a leak on the outside of the right side, child. Yeah, I got you on my radar just because of time's sake. You got some stuff going on the right side. On the outside is where the energy went first. So I think it's time maybe to get a tune-up. Because what are they supposed to be good for 10 years or 12 years, and then you're supposed to get them replaced?
And then some say that it's as long it's not necessarily the rule. So who knows, right? But I definitely.
I think it's in your best interest to go get them scanned. Go get the girls scanned. Go get the girls scanned, and see what's going on. I'm seeing a leak on the right outside of the right breast. I'm looking at you from behind, and what I've done is I've patched it energetically. It's a temporary patch. I think you're probably going to want to get a tune-up and get maybe a new one put in. at least on that side. And most of my friends that have them, when they're getting it done on one side, they get it done on both sides, just because.
Yeah, for sure.
Just easier to get it done. But you don't want to mess with that, Monica, because it can really mess up your immune system when those things start leaking. So I would. And
but this is, and it's interesting that you say leak, because this is the kind that's like it's referred to as the gummy bear, which is like a cohesive gel. It's not supposed to leak.
I know,
like
but
it's just like a gummy bear thing.
Yeah, but when that stuff starts leaking out, I don't care what they call it. It can be a problem. It can make you really sick.
Of course. So, I already made contact. I'm going to get an ultrasound, and I'm going to get it all looked after. I just I wanted to see, if maybe you can see something.
I think you need to get it checked, especially the right one. The left one looks okay. The right one, I think you got some issues going on there. You got some opportunities, as my husband would say.
That's so cute.
Okay, girl. Thanks for calling in.
Should it be anything alarming or?
No, but I would get on it.
Of course.
I would get on it before it becomes alarming. Okay.
Yep.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, our next caller is Miss Patty. Hi, Patty.
Hi, how are you? How's everything?
Girl. I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay.
Please tell everybody where you're calling. Queens, New
York.
Queens. Okay, got a quick question for me?
Yeah, January 1st is hurricane season. Got started ever since, as you know, the Northeast, New York City got hit with Hurricane Sandy back in 2012, and all these hurricanes that happened in Houston last year and Puerto Rico. And actually, one of those hurricanes did hit us last year in New York City, but by the time it came up, it was just rain. And now, ever since Hurricane Sandy and last year, do you think New York City will be hit with a hurricane this year?
I get a no. But, weather forecasters aren't paid for accuracy.
Right.
Because that's a great example of future stuff, Patty. There's so many variables. I live just north of the Gulf of Mexico, where the hurricanes all come in, a lot of them. And so we really watch it down here and out in Sweet Home, Alabama. And by the time the hurricanes get to us, they're usually either pretty forceful winds, or they're spinning off a bunch of tornadoes. So they don't know a lot of times till the hurricanes make landfall what's going to happen. But why are you wigging out about a potential hurricane? What's going on with that?
No, it's just that because every June now, ever since last year, we were, poor Houston got hit with Hurricane Harvey, Puerto Rico, and we were almost, thank God we just got the rain from one of the hurricanes because it came up. But it's just that every June now they talk about hurricane, and because I'm always concerned that ever since, we were very fortunate in 2012 that our mayor got the MTA to shut down the subway. Last year, 2 years ago.
So, Patty, here's what I want you to do. And then I'm gonna run and see if I can get one more caller in. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to research, as long as the history books go back, on the number of hurricanes that hit New York City. All right? And then come up with some kind of a formula. And I'm sure those formulas are out there of what the probability is. I get that it's low. It's low.
All right,
but it's going to make you feel better when you research what the data is. Because when we are concerned about something, first of all, that we can't control, and secondly, something that's in the future that might happen, but good chance won't happen, the fear gets exacerbated because it's fear of the unknown. So the best way to get that into perspective is I want you to look up what I just said, and then it's going to make you feel better. Okay?
Yeah. I remember New York City got hit with like 4 snowstorms in March too.
But again, look up the statistics, and you'll see it's a very rare occurrence. So,
all right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Take care, Patty.
You too.
Bye. Okay, our next caller is Sherman. Hi, Sherman.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir. I have 3 minutes left, and they're all yours.
I just want to know how Ask Julie Ryan's doing.
Oh, you guys, this is my husband, Tim. You goofball.
Well, you know, I'm out of town. I'm missing you, so I'm just calling the show.
Oh, you're so funny. Sherman's his middle name, you guys. Okay, you know how I always talk about my big Southern gentleman ex-football player with the deep accent? How do you talk? Women love when he talks. Okay, so talk to us.
Well, that's very kind, and honey, I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the callers that call in every week. Y'all have been very, very kind to Julie, and that is much appreciated by myself and the family. So thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for calling in, and honey, I hope you have a good evening.
Okay, he's out of town, you guys. This is what's going on. So it's so funny. Since I only have another minute, I'm going to tell everybody this funniest story. Women love Tim because he's so handsome and he's so charming and he's got this Southern accent and he has great manners and he smells really good. His cologne, just women love. So one time I was picking up his shirts at the cleaners and the woman said, "Oh, you're married to Tim?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, we love it when he drops off his shirts because they smell so good. We stand around and smell them." I'm thinking, seriously? You're telling his wife that you stand around and smell his dirty shirts? That's just disgusting. It was hilarious. And then we were at a friend's house in Louisville, and my friend Trish was hugging on Tim, and he's a big teddy bear. Everybody loves to hug him. And she said, "You always smell so good." And then she went over to her husband, and she smelled him, and she said, "You smell like soap."
So, that was not good.
Honey, thanks for calling in. What a nice surprise. That's
You're
hilarious.
more than welcome. Listen, great
right.
show, honey. Love you.
You're trying to trick your wife. I mean,
I am. I did a pretty good job, honey.
You did a really good job. Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Bye, babe. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. With that, we are out of time, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a good first to next week. And to those callers that I didn't get to, call in next week, and I'll do my best to get you on. And thanks so much. Go to my website, AskJulieRyan.com. All the information you need is there. Schedule a private session and sign up for my drawing, too, so you can win a private session. And with that, everybody, take care. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.